Welcome back to Learn with Biju. In the last session, we made an introduction to the Python programming. If you haven't seen the session, please check that out. Link is in the description. In this session, I am going to answer one of the questions I got yesterday. Hey Biju, you told Python is an open source and anyone can download and start building applications. I have a doubt then. Should I have a high-end system for that? I may be on the move. Can I practice online? Hi, dear friend. Here is the answer for your question. We can practice Python both locally and online. Locally means in your laptop or desktop. Online means there are some sites who provide sandbox for everyone to practice provided you are connected to the internet. In today's session, we are going to set our development environment ready. You may ask why do I need a development environment? It is simple. Anyone who wants to learn a new language, he has to practice. To practice a language, they need an environment. That's what we call development environment. As I already said, Python can be developed in your PC, in your desktop, that is called develop locally or develop offline. Python can be also developed online. There are so many sites that provide you editors, language editors. So in short, we have two options. Either you develop locally or you develop online. Next, we will see how I should get ready my laptop, how I should get ready my desktop, how I should get ready my workstation to start developing Python.
It is all by installing Python libraries and IDEs on your computer. Remember, there are two major versions of Python, Python 2 and Python 3. Let's pause for a minute to understand the difference between Python 2 and Python 3. Of course, Python 2 is legacy and Python 3 is the future. Python 2 is still used by many companies for one reason only. They built their site with Python 2 years ago and they haven't upgraded to Python 3. As a language upgrade, Python 3 was a big upgrade to the language with significant changes that make transitioning a lot of work. So many companies built on Python 2 choose to stick with what works. It was either that or rebuild the whole site. New websites are almost always built with Python 3. Over the next few years, once reluctant companies stuck on Python 2 will be making the switch to Python 3 because everyone is moving to Python 3. I recommend you to start Python 3 learning. Going further, let's understand how to install Python in our laptops. Installing Python is not a big deal. It is simple following couple of steps. As a step 1, let's go to the python.org. Then let's select the right version of Python you want to install. As I already mentioned, you can choose Python 2 or Python 3, but I recommend to go with Python 3 always. Then download Python executable installer, run the executable. If the installation is complete, let's verify whether the Python is installed rightly on your computer running couple of commands. And finally, we can also verify if pip is also installed along with Python. To make sure you understand everything correctly, let me take you to python.org. The python.org, as I said, it is the home of Python. Here you will be finding so much of resources that you need to use for your learning. Here I am interested in downloads. I'm interested in Windows. Let me click on Windows. Here I can see two links. One is the latest Python 3 release and latest Python 2 release. I'm interested in Python 3. Let me click on Python 3. It has taken me to a page where it shows all the features of 3.10, and there is a comparison between 3.10 series and compared to 3.9. If you have time, please spend some time reading this page. Let's come down. Here you can see various downloadable options. Some are gzipped files, some are packages, some are installables. I am interested in Windows Installer 64-bit, and let me download that. That's cool, it's downloaded. So once it is downloaded, let's install the executable. It is simple steps. It will show you the setup is successful and you can close the window once the setup is done. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, let's try to verify whether Python is installed rightly using command, and also you can verify if pip is installed. Pip is a powerful package management system for Python software packages, thus make sure that you have installed it rightly. That's all you need to do to install Python in your local system. We have just seen how to install Python in your laptop and get ready for development offline. As I mentioned, there is a second option that you can practice Python online. So here are some of the language editors that you can use freely online with a proper internet connection. So they are python.org, onlinegdb.com, Jupyter, Tutorial Point, W3 School, then Collaboratory from Google. Let me take you to those websites. Now let me take you to various online editors in real time. Here we have on python.org. Here we have launch interactive shell command. So it will load the Python shell. Here you can type hello, welcome to Python. Cool. So here you can put your commands and practice it. Secondly, let's go to online gdb.com. Here you can say hello, welcome to uh, learn with Biju. Okay, so you can run the command. So you can see the results in the output window. Then let's try Jupyter Lite. Here you have different multiple options, like you can create Python file. Then we can go to the tutorialpoints.com. Here you can give your commands and you can execute it. Yeah, you have a hello Biju. Then we have a Python compiler. We have W3 Schools Python compiler. Then we also having the collab.research.google.com, where also you can try executing your Python commands. Before I close today's session, please note that Python is one of the best coding languages to learn to boost your career. Many of the biggest websites in the world use Python, and there are plenty of jobs you can get with Python skills. But what is important is to know before you start is understand what you can do with Python. Python is great for building the backend of websites, data analysis, accessing API data, machine learning, and automating repetitive tasks. For example, Instagram uses Python's Django framework to manage their CMS, while Instacart uses Python for demand forecasting to run projections for the upcoming weeks. So I request you to explore a little bit on what I can do with Python before the next section. Thank you very much for listening to
this session. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.